Today we're diving into a really important piece of legislation that's changing the game in Jamaica, the Sexual Harassment Act of 2021. It's this comprehensive new law that basically redefines what protection looks like in workplaces and institutions, and we're going to break down exactly what it all means.
So you might be asking, what actually counts as sexual harassment under this new law? And maybe even more importantly, if it happens, what can you now do about it? Well, we're going to unpack all of that starting right now.
All right, let's get into the heart of it. The entire framework we're talking about today, it all comes from this one document, the Sexual Harassment Act of 2021. This is our guide, and it lays out everything from the basic definitions all the way to the specific penalties.
Okay, first things first, we absolutely have to understand the official legal definition. Getting this right is the crucial first step to understanding everything else in the Act.
So here it is. The Act defines sexual harassment as any unwelcome sexual advance that has a specific negative effect. The key words here are unwelcome and the impact it has, whether it's offensive, humiliating, or creates an intimidating or hostile environment. It's not about what the person intended, it's all about the effect.
And the law gets really specific about what a sexual advance can be. It's not left vague at all. As you can see, it covers this whole spectrum, from unwanted physical contact and direct requests for sex to things that are more subtle but just as harmful, like suggestive remarks or showing someone sexual images. So we know what it is. The next big question is, who does this law actually protect? And as you're about to see, the shield it provides is surprisingly wide.
Yeah, the scope of this act goes way beyond just your typical office setting. It's actually designed to be incredibly inclusive, covering all kinds of workplaces and institutions.
And this right here is a crucial point. The Act has a really broad definition of a worker. This isn't just for full-time employees. It explicitly includes domestic workers, independent contractors, interns, and even volunteers. And that is a huge deal in the Jamaican context, where a lot of the economy is informal. By including all these categories, the law extends protection to so many people who might have been left vulnerable before. Basically, if you're contributing your labor, paid or not, you're now protected.
And the Act's reach extends even further than that. The protection isn't just for workplaces. It also covers institutions. So we're talking about schools, hospitals, nursing homes, places where people are in positions of care. It means students, patients, and residents are now explicitly protected by this law. So with all these new protections come new responsibilities. The Act really puts the onus on employers and institutions to be proactive. This isn't just about punishing harassment after the fact. It's about preventing it from happening in the first place.
So what does this duty to prevent actually look like in the real world? Well, the law is very specific. It requires every employer to create a safe environment, issue a formal written policy, make sure everyone knows about it, and, this is critical, have a clear process for handling complaints internally. And organizations aren't just left to figure this all out on their own. The Act's first schedule, which you're seeing a little piece of here, actually provides a detailed template. It guides employers on exactly what a compliant policy needs to have in it.
Okay. So what if something does happen? What do you do? This next section breaks down the practical steps for making a complaint. Think of it as your path to justice under this new law.
The whole process starts internally. The very first step is to file a written complaint with your employer or the institution, and from the day they get it, they have 14 days to start an investigation. Now, if the issue isn't resolved through that internal process, or if they just fail to act, you then have the right to take your complaint to the next level, the Sexual Harassment Tribunal.
And this is absolutely critical to remember. There is a time limit. A complaint has to be filed within 12 months of the date of the incident. So the clock really starts ticking from the moment the act of harassment occurs.
This brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the body that holds the ultimate authority, and, of course, the penalties that give this law its teeth.
The Sexual Harassment Tribunal is a brand new body, created specifically by this act. Its one and only job is to hear these cases, providing a specialized forum with real expertise in this area, when those internal processes just aren't enough.
Now, let's talk about the penalties, because they show just how seriously this law is being taken. To make sure the system isn't abused, anyone who knowingly makes a false complaint can face a pretty significant fine, up to 1 million Jamaican dollars.
Confidentiality is also a big deal, and it's protected with heavy fines. Anyone who unlawfully leaks details about a complaint can be fined up to $500,000. This is so important for protecting the privacy and safety of everyone involved, both the person making the complaint and the person being accused.
And this right here is maybe one of the most important protections in the whole act. It explicitly forbids retaliation. This is a direct quote from the law, and it makes it completely illegal for an employer to punish an employee for making a complaint. Any adverse action is an offense in itself and comes with its own heavy penalties.
So there you have it. A comprehensive new legal framework is officially on the books. This act establishes clear definitions, it offers broad protections, and it lays out serious consequences. The question now is a big one. What does a safer Jamaica actually look like with this law fully in force?